to learn a little bit about how to work with formatting a spreadsheet and learning to duplicate and rename sheets within a spreadsheet. So let's look at, first of all, at some formatting. So I'm working on a spreadsheet. Again, in our first lesson, we learned how to reduce a spreadsheet down in size. Now let's say I want this spreadsheet to have a region that is a little bit bigger than just one cell. So what I've done, again, is clicked in cell A1 and just held the mouse down and dragged. So I've selected this region, cell A1 through B8. Now if I want to merge those cells, I have a function here called merge cells. Now when I do that, it turns that whole set of cells into a single set of, it becomes a single region. And I want to change some background on this. I want the background of that cell to be orange, okay? And I want the text of that to, let's make it red, okay? And let's make the text bold, and let's make the text a little bit bigger, and let's work with some formatting here and say let's center the text, and let's center it at the top. So notice my centering, I have horizontal alignment and vertical alignment, okay? So now I can start typing in here and give some instructions. This is a merged set of cells that has some formatting. Now notice it's spreading out as I go, but that's okay because when I hit enter, it fits within the cell. Now here's an interesting feature about that. If I wanted to put in an automatic carriage return here, I'm putting a space after my period, I can hit Control and enter, and now notice I have automatically dictated a carriage return within the cell. So that was, I hit the Control key and hit enter, and that actually let me put in a carriage return. This cell can be used for instructions, okay? And when I hit enter, notice there's my carriage return. Now, the reason that you might want to do this, sometimes you don't want to use a word processing document. You want to actually use a spreadsheet and format it nicely so that when people type, they're just typing in cells. So I could say, hey, this cell needs to be a bit bigger. I've widened out cell C, okay? And now this might be a place I want to actually put some data. And I want everything in cell C to have a background color that's blue, okay? And I want everything in this range of cells down here to have a background of black and the text color to be white. And now if I type in any of these cells, this is a cell. Okay, you can see how I've done that. And then notice we learned in the first lesson how you can use the tool when it's the crosshairs, and I can drag that down, and that information will copy down through that range. Again, this is a merged set of cells. This is just individual cells that have all been colored the same in a region. I could select a whole other set of cells here and say, hey, I want those to be this pale green color. And now I've basically done some formatting and put some things in there. Now, one last thing in my short video, I want to talk about conditional formatting. Let's put some numbers in this cell here, this column, and I'm going to do 90, 80, 70, I missed, and I'm going to say that, you know, these numbers here, and let's go 50 and 40 and so forth. What I want to do here is show you some what's called conditional formatting. For some reason I didn't get my 9 in there. So there's those are some numbers. Now let's click on the cell header and go to conditional formatting. And what I want to do here is I want to say if it's greater than 90, okay, I want the background to be green, a nice green color. If another rule says if it's between, if this is between 80, well, let's call it 79 in this case, and I'm got to highlight that, 79 and 90, we want this to be red. And add another rule, and if it's between okay, if it's between 69 and 80, then it will be yellow, okay? And my last rule might say, if it is less than, okay, if it's less than 69, then we want this background to be orange. So that's my rule. So I save the rules. Now notice, as soon as I do that, if I add a number here, so if I add 30, of course, it's going to be orange. If I add 50, it's going to be orange. If I add 65, it's going to be orange. If I add 75, it's going to be yellow. If I add 90, 91, it's going to be green. Because my rule tells it to do the background. Now it could be the text color or the background color.